Hey, it's Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm. How are you today? It is Monday, so we bring you somebody to interview in the craft beer world. And like I said, we're 360, so we are going to interview Matt and Scott from Stone Leigh Chemicals. You know, it's very important to keep your the vessels that the beer is in clean and sanitized. And this is what these guys are doing. They're local to New England. They're in Massachusetts, and it's just a critical part of the whole brewing process. If you have dirty fermenters or, bacteria, it's just horrible. It's just going to destroy the whole batch, or you're just going to have bad beer. So these guys are doing some good stuff, and I wanted to have them on. We had a good conversation, and I'd like to send it your way. Here we go. And we are here with Matt and Scott from Stone Leigh Chemicals. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing very well.
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Cool. No, I'm glad you can make it on. And we're 360 on Craft Beer Storm. We don't just interview brewers and founders. We interview all aspects of the brewing process. And one of the most important aspects that I think, I have a brewery, is you got to make sure things are clean and sanitized before you transfer stuff, fermenters, everything. So it's got to be clean and sanitized. You can be an excellent brewer and you can make great beer, but if the stuff is not clean and not sanitized properly, you're not going to make craft beer. You'll make crap beer. And that's what it is. So I want to let you guys go. Maybe you could tell me about your story about Stone Leigh. How you got started, what's your history, where are you going, where are you now? Maybe you can take it away.
Mike, thanks for having us. This is Scott Carey. In regards to Stone Leigh, we've been around since 1994. I've been in the chemical industry since high school years with a family business. Stone Leigh was incorporated in 1994. I took it over about 10 or 15 years ago. We have a large history of dealing with cleaning metal, and that's really how we got involved in the brewery aspect. We've done things in the past within healthcare, in the industrial market. We actually clean things like Zildjian cymbals for drum sets. We've done a lot of different areas, and then about 3 or 4 years ago, we saw the growth of the brewery market. We got involved with some vat manufacturers. So the vessels that you use to brew beer are used in the dairy industry. They're used in the pharmaceutical industry, and we've worked very closely with those fabricators, with those stainless steel fabricators. We've made a lot of products that they use in the fabrication. And Matt and I decided about 3 years ago to really develop a focus in the brewery industry, mainly because, I had a little bit of a history in the brewery back in the early 90s. I lived out in Colorado, and I actually worked at a brewery. And as we all know, that industry and that area has really flourished. And over the years, I always wanted to somehow get back into that into that industry. So we're very happy to be in it, and we're excited. And just like you said, there's a lot going on in a brewery, but our focus is the cleanliness of these vessels or these vats, and we try to educate our customers as much as possible on the cleanliness, on the sanitization process. So we've learned a lot from our customers and all the brewers.
Yeah. And we're starting to, in making our rounds to the different breweries of all different sizes, we're really shifting the focus of this and really getting into the education part of the process and learning from the customers and giving them suggestions and working closely with them and trying to take the whole transactional sales process out of this. A lot of the brewers, they typically buy what they buy and they use what they use. But if you really took the time like we are to go meet with them and sit down and talk to them, you learn that a lot of them do have frustrations or questions or want to do things differently or better and want to know how other people are doing them. And I think, that type of intimate relationship we're trying to build with each client, we think is unique to what we're offering at Stone Leigh. And, on top of that, being a manufacturer, we feel like we've been helping them cut costs and maintain, a better process when it comes to their cleaning and expenditures and so forth. So, I mean, Scott, I think that's kind of, a little bit also what I would think is makes us unique.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that in the fact that we're blending these chemicals. I mean, we have a production team, we have a chemistry team, we have on-site chemists, and then we are the sales group. But we work directly with our production crew. We work directly with the chemists. So if something comes up that's a more of a chemistry question, it's a text away, it's a phone call away. Like Matt and I were on a call today with a customer, just had some questions on a new product that he was using. So we got the chemist right on the phone with him, and we're able to kind of remedy it within 20, 25 minutes. We're a large organization from a manufacturing standpoint, but from a customer service standpoint, it's Matt, myself, and a few other individuals that are there for all of our customers, depending on the geographical area.
Yeah, you mentioned the pharmaceutical industry and the dairy industry. I have pretty much all my tanks and everything. Like our brew kettles from a pharmaceutical company. They used to sterilize water for medicine, but we took it and we brought it here. It's huge. It's like freaking 4,000 pounds. We got it in. We got it in here somehow. I don't know how but we stood it up, and it went bang, and that's where it was. And we built a brewery around that. But it's from a pharmaceutical company, but it's stainless steel. Anything stainless steel is awesome. And also our mash tun, where you convert the starch and the grain to sugar. Was a dairy tank. Farmers used to use it. They don't use them anymore, but they're just, this thing was sitting in like Wisconsin, just sitting around. So I bought it and they shipped it to me. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, with the pharmaceutical company, it's all very closely related, but it all has to be clean, very clean and sanitized.
Yeah, it's a. I don't ever say that the brewery industry is an easy clean, but compared to dairy, compared to pharmaceutical, compared to some of the other industrial areas that we're in, it's an easier clean. We think we have it down to a process. We think we have the right products that actually make it a process. We actually give our customers pieces of literature that kind of walk through each step of the process. That makes it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, and I wanted to get you guys on because you're in Massachusetts, you're local. I'm in New Hampshire right now. But, sure. I wanted to get you on because you're local. But also you're enviro-friendly, right? I mean, that's very key. Like, I don't use acidic stuff. I use acid, but it could be neutralized with water. And then you can flush it down the drain, and it's okay. But some breweries use really toxic stuff, like, if it's, God forbid, it sprays on their workers, God forbid, it could be disaster. But how do you what about your chemicals, and what do you consider?
I'd love to say that every chemical we have isn't working in a manner that isn't environmentally friendly. It's just not the case. Some of these cleaners are caustic, some of them are acid. Our focus has really been to cut down the utilization of the chemical. Like I've been in this industry for so long, and I see organizations that want you to use more chemicals so they can sell you more 55-gallon drums or 5-gallon drums or whatever it may be. Our focus is a higher concentration, meaning not really with the caustic cleaner, but different agents that we've had experience in other areas that allow us to formulate a chemical that you're going to use half as much, or even 60% less product.
Wow.
And that, in some degree, it from the production standpoint, it makes life a little bit easier. It makes, from a transportation, it cuts down the amount of trucks and pallets that are necessary to ship product. But in the chemical industry, that's the dirty little secret, is that how how can we get customers to use more chemical? Well, that's not our focus. Our focus is really to give a competitive price per gallon, but the yield on it to yield more chemical, to yield more usage. That's our focus within utilization of a powder to utilization of a liquid. How can we get the customer to be using less chemical when they're mixing it with water?
And not only that, going back to that, it's interesting. People forget a lot of these breweries are startups, and you have to understand that their main focus is to make beer, and our job is to provide a chemical that allows them to do that. And we're really focusing on the partnership here, rather than just like Scott said, going in and trying to upsell them to order more chemicals. So we're truly trying to create these partnerships and understand that there are growing pains at a lot of these breweries. It's not a lot of them are just getting off the ground. I've seen a lot of them have fun Kickstarter programs to try to raise money. So we're very sensitive to that as well.
So you're working with all size breweries, I guess, startups, and you have some larger breweries as well. Yep. And your goal is to kind of have them use just enough, cleaner or sanitizer, not go overboard. And you're just focused on, doing it right. And which is great. It just reduces everything. It reduces shipping. It's ridiculous. I buy some stuff and the shipping is... Sometimes the shipping costs more than the product. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy the amount of like the regulations and stuff like that. But I think you guys are locally. If you have local brewers in the Massachusetts, I guess New Hampshire, Maine, I don't know, Rhode Island, maybe, I don't know. But you could have some kind of distribution service to help them out.
Yeah, we typically give set prices. So if we say to the customer, hey, your shipping fee is going to be X, it's X for, no matter how many products they purchase from us. Mm-hmm. And what our goal is if a customer is using something, we want them to have a competitively priced product. And the way that we can bring down shipping costs is to enable some other items to be on it. Like a lot of customers want parasitic acid, so we stock parasitic acid. Mm-hmm. They may want like a bag of citric acid. We deal with some wineries, so we're starting to stock other items that that may be some type of raw material to actually reduce the amount of trucks coming to their facility. Like we see a need because a lot of people are buying a lot of different cleaners from different organizations. And if you're buying from 3 different organizations, you're paying 3 different shipping charges. So we don't do it by the amount of product. We don't do it by the weight of the product. We've worked with our freight organizations to just have a standard price. And the price in Massachusetts is to ship in Massachusetts or southern New Hampshire areas is depending how far away it's probably under $100. So if
that's great.
Yeah.
I buy stuff and it's like over 100 at least easily for like I don't know like a
5-gallon bucket.
Like a 5-gallon bucket. It's stupid. And then they wrap it up. They put it on a pallet. They put steel straps around it. Like, come on, what are you doing? Like, we get these things. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, we hear that all the time, and then a lot of customers are either paying the shipping, and like you said, paying more for shipping than they are for product, or they're having to over-order, and that just puts more of a strain on them, financially.
Well, yeah, they have to tie up money in chemicals they're not even going to use like in a couple months. So it's like stupid. But it's good that you guys are local, and I guess you've been connecting with the brewery industry and also some guilds and associations and the, what do you see? What's happening with them? In terms of what you're selling and what they're needing and.
So Scott, I don't know if you want to take that, but
no, I don't need that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just talking to customers, you'd be surprised. In the time we've been doing this and the customers we've been visiting, a lot of our clients have been coming word of mouth. But every time we're at with a client who, has given us a chance to work with them, and they realize the pricing and the service is where it needs to be. We've actually been invited to a bunch of the more the local guild meetings. And it's a great way. We come there, we bring, some samples. We offer, we try to do some sort of a group incentive rate, for first orders. And, we're open to any idea to grow our business. And again, most of it's word of mouth. We're all over LinkedIn trying to connect with people. But, we're here to support the industry as well as, grow our business. So it's got to be a partnership, like I said, because it's a very small industry. Everybody knows each other, and, we're trying to build a good reputation for ourselves. And like I said, help our clients, grow and prosper in their businesses.
Yeah, it's exactly like Matt said. We think it's very important for us. Like, we look at our geographical area as the Northeast. We have some customers down in Maryland, which is quite a bit distant, but our focus is more the Northeast above that Maryland area. And our goal is to support all these guilds, all these associations. I know we've signed up for 3 or 4 different shows, either New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut. It's our goal to attend these, and anyone out there listening now, feel free to reach out to us, because we're very willing to participate in these.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to get out there and you have to meet with people, but you're local and we're all about local, so I think it's a good thing.
And we want to support, and we want to support these associations.
And we want to visit. We want to visit all these breweries as well, and and understand exactly what their needs are, because a lot of the stuff, a lot of these companies that we're in competition with, it's all over the internet. So everybody's online shopping, but everybody we speak to does things a little differently, and it's important to know how they do it before you just sell them product, or and like I said, a lot of them are interested in also knowing what other people are doing, and I think that's another thing we bring to the table, is we're able to educate them on what other people are doing, and how they could do things differently, or even learn things from them that we could take to other people. And again, that's why these guilds exist, right? I mean, you guys are sharing information, and we're trying to do that, as well, as we're working with clients. We want to really get in there, meet them, work with them, understand, what they're doing, and provide the best service we could.
Right. And I think it's important to get in front of people. Like, visiting the breweries is an awesome idea. Too many people send texts. Too many people send emails. I do, I'm doing these craft beer weekends with hotels, where we, I did a craft beer event at a brewery actually in New York last week. And, we had a food and beer pairing, and then we had the owner took us on a tour of the brewery and explained everything. It was awesome. But, we're trying to connect with other breweries and hotels, and it's like, I'll send an email next week. I'm like, no, don't send an email. Call them. Talk to a human being, or go out, or let's schedule a meeting and go in front of them, because people love to see you. And I think you get, if you're there in person, you can really understand what their issues are and address them.
Yeah, I think that's our group's strategy. Is we love going into these breweries. I mean, Matt and I have worked in healthcare and different avenues. Some of the breweries that we walk into, they're so enjoyable because it's such an exciting time for these breweries, and we like going into them. And we, as you said, we don't try to send mass emails. We don't try to send and be a marketing organization. We try to meet our customers. We really want to meet each and every one.
Yeah, it's important. So I think you guys are on the right track. You're local. And are there any favorite beers that you have, like New England beers?
You could get us in trouble on that one. I do a lot of traveling, so I'm very lucky. So I get to experiment some stuff in Vermont.
Or maybe styles of beer. I guess you guys like IPAs and everything.
IPAs, yeah, exactly.
They're really good. Everybody likes IPAs. I like them too, but there's so many different other styles as well. And I think a lot of the breweries are expanding, and a lot of the brewers are like, oh my God, I got to make this IPA because people buy the IPAs and they want to make like maybe a Goza, or they want to make some type of alt beer or something like that, but maybe it's not selling well. So it's kind of a balance between what's selling, because it is a business, it is a business.
Yeah, and Mike, going back to the business aspect, and this is just something that we're planning on rolling out, but we want to also offer some, free marketing services to breweries. We're in the process of building up, our Instagram presence and stuff like that. And as we bring on clients, we want to help promote them to the local communities through our Instagram and our marketing efforts, as part of a service we offer, because we think it's important, because a lot of these places are hidden gems. People don't know they exist. They could be, they could be. I was in Brooklyn today, and they were in the Brooklyn in the Navy Yard, and then there's these guys that are back in the industrial parks, and people don't know. People don't know enough.
I went to the industrial park last weekend. Actually, I was down in Brooklyn, and we went over there. There's Big Alice over there, and then there's some other breweries and distiller, and there's this place make it with ginger, right? What was that place where they make everything with ginger? But it's so unique,
It is unique, and I think if we can help, drive the business and make the public aware, I think it'll help everybody, obviously. But so that's just something we're tossing around. But again, we're here to build long-term relationships and have everybody thrive in this industry, because we know that a lot of these guys that are opening these breweries, they're putting their heart and soul into it, and a lot of money and a lot of time. A lot of them are doing it. A lot of them are doing it as secondary jobs until things take off. We want to make it.
You're preaching to the choir.
I mean, we see it.
I know all about this. Yes.
Yeah.
And we see how hard on all the promotions that all these breweries do, and if there's a way that we could help promote, I think it would show value of our business to them, is as an appreciation. If we could develop some type of Instagram network that Matt's working on, that we think that the brewers would definitely see benefits in it.
It's just a platform for them to advertise what they're doing. I know they all have their own followings, but you know what? They can never have enough marketing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything you can do to promote I mean, that's why I started this podcast too, because I feel it. I'm a small brewer, and I have people around me who live right down the street, and they're like, "Oh, when did you open?" I'm like, I've been open for 5 years. And they're like, "Oh, well, I saw the sign, but I didn't know." I'm like, "It says brewery. Why don't you come in and come?" But they just don't know, and it's just tough for smaller brewers. That's why I like to have local brewers on. I don't care where they are. They could be. I mean, I've interviewed people in India, Shanghai. I don't care. Just promote local, and you guys are local, so I wanted to promote you, which is very positive. And anything you can do to promote local is great.
Thank you very much for having us. We're here. We're open for business, and we're hoping to continue our growth pattern, and continue meeting great guys like you and everybody else in the industry.
No, well, that's great. It is a fantastic industry. There's a lot of good people. I don't know if you've been out to. You should go to the Craft Brewers Conference. Probably that would probably be a good place for you. They're going to have it in San Antonio this year. I went last year. Was in Denver. And I'll be out in San Antonio again. They give me a media pass, which is awesome. I'm like media, so.
Nice.
So we don't.
San Antonio is beautiful.
On an end note, Michael, if it's okay, anybody that can reference this podcast, we'd like to offer. Scott, I don't know if you want to make an announcement, like some sort of special discount for on a first order if they decide to give us a shot or meet with us. Let's do something. We probably should discuss it beforehand, but we'll at the minimum we'll do 10% off, something like that. If somebody mentions the podcast, that'd be great. It's a great idea.
Yeah, so you save on the product and also the shipping and you're local. Yeah. So all you breweries in New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts, I guess Rhode Island. You cover Rhode Island as well.
Rhode Island, yeah. We cover upstate New York as well.
Upstate New York, yeah.
Upstate New York,
Long
New York
Island.
City, Long Island, yeah. Yeah, we have
You
a
got
big,
Long Island, yeah. Because I'm from
yeah.
Westchester originally, so I'm down there. There's a lot of breweries. I think New York is kind of behind the craft beer kind of curve. It just now it's starting to explode, I think.
I think
When
the city is.
Yeah.
I think the city is, but I think some people in the upstate area would disagree with you. I think upstate New York.
Oh, and upstate, yeah. Upstate
Yeah,
is
because
kind of, yeah.
I think the Vermont.
Well, they're next to
is
Vermont,
really-
yeah. So
Exactly.
it's spilled
yeah.
over, yeah. But down
Yeah.
by us in Westchester, Long Island, New York City, yeah. Well, those are strongholds, for the bigger breweries and the distributors. So it's a tough nut to crack, but we'll crack it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of a lot of breweries popping up. Like in Brooklyn, like I said, the industrial park there. And Long Island too, and even New York City, the Bronx, right? There's a lot of things popping up there.
Yep.
So even Westchester, there's we had our event at Wolf and Warrior, it was in White Plains, and they just opened this year, but making great beer, and I think it's just going to grow, which is fantastic. But I appreciate you having you guys on. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you? You have a website, or how do they do that?
The StoneLeigh.com is our pretty simple website.
Well, Stone Leigh.
Oh, Stone Leigh. I'm sorry. STONE-LEIGH.com.
Okay.
Phone number would be 508-465-0230. And
you could also use our general email account, which is just sales@STONE-LEIGH.com. So sales at stone-leigh.com.
All right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing. You're local, and you're doing good stuff for the brewing industry, and, promote cleanliness, which is what, you go into a brewery and you have bad beer, it's because they're just not clean, and it's just, that's what it is. So I think what you're doing is great. You have good chemicals, and people should give you a shot. And I appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We'll be in touch. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Awesome. Thank you.
have a great week.
Hey, that was Matt and Scott from Stone Leigh Chemicals. Doing some good stuff and providing breweries with some good chemicals to clean their systems with. It's just critical. I mean, I'm crazy clean. Everybody's like, you're nuts. You're crazy clean. I'm like, well, yeah, we have good beer because we're crazy clean. We got to clean everything and sanitize everything. And it's got to be no shortcuts, right? I've had some issues in the past where we had, fermenters were not cleaned thoroughly. And, we did another batch in it, and it just, the whole batch got ruined because there was some bacteria in it. And I'm just like, that's it. Enough. Because you just pour that stuff down the drain. It's like thousands of dollars of beer going down the drain, which is like, you might as well take a knife and just shove it into my chest. That's pretty much what it is. But so we changed our procedures, and we're very diligent, and we have good beer. You can go on Untapped, and you can see the ratings, and but that's what it is. It's cleanliness. So I appreciate these guys, Stone Leigh Chemicals. Check them out, www.stone-leigh.com. I'll put it in the show notes. If you're a brewer, check it out. They'll give you a big discount. Nice shipping too is ridiculous, right? So they'll take care of you. They're local. Try them out. So if you like what we're doing, you like our podcast, hey, go into iTunes, give us a rating, give us a review, tell a friend, tell 10 friends. We want to get up in the rankings here, and we need more downloads. We need to get the word out. So I'm just going to keep doing this, man. 3 times a week. We do it 3 times a week. We do Mondays. We interview somebody. Wednesdays we do beer styles. There are over 100 different beer styles in the Great American Beer Festival listing. And we pick one style a week, and we just go through it. And it's good stuff. And then Fridays we do Craft Brew News, where we look at the drama of the week, the news, who's buying who's going bankrupt, cannabis, hard seltzer, crazy stuff. But it's all good and all interesting. But we bring it there for you. So, and we also have craft beer events. Hey, keep posted on our website, www.craftbeerstorm.com, and we'll let you know what next event is coming to you. We just had a great event last weekend. It was awesome in New York at Wolf and Warrior. Fantastic. The owner gave us a tour. We had food and beer pairing. It was great. Everybody loved it. Made a video of it, posted it on, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Check it out. That's our podcast for today. Have a great rest of the day. We will see you on Wednesday with Beer Styles. Take care.